from rankers. So without taking much time, I hand over the session to Harpreet. Harpreet, over to you.
Thank you, sir. So let us begin with our session. I would request our rankers to please unmute themselves. Hello, Rajan, Kunal, and Varun. Hope you all are doing well. So welcome to our session. First of all, I have a question for you all. Can you share the day when the result came? Like, how was the day? आपके families का क्या reaction था? And आपको कैसे पता चला कि आपने AIR secure किया है? So can you please, Rajan? Rajan, please unmute yourself.
Okay, I was not able to speak because it was on mute. Sorry. Yeah. What was the question again? Can you come again?
Okay, so Rajan, can you share what was the experience when the result came? Like, how was the family reaction? How you celebrated that the most memorable day?
Okay, so basically, my family reacted like I was sleeping at that time. I had just come from my orientation course in Pune. So I came in morning 6 or 7 in Aurangabad, and I was sleeping at that time because I was completely tired. And then one of my father's friends, who is a central council member, he called up my father and said that it is a rank 1. So everyone was overjoyed and we celebrated it there.
That sounds so great. Kunal, what was your reaction?
So, on result day, I was not in Nagpur. I was in Amravati doing my ITT training. So at that time, we were like 5 friends in a single room. So I have told my friends because ICI was unpredictable. Sometimes, like final, they gave result at 7 a.m. morning. So I told them, like, if results are on 7 a.m., you see the results, and if I am passed, then only wake up me, otherwise let me sleep. But results were not declared, so I woke up. I was about to go for brush, then I received a call from ICI president, and I was like, it is a prank call, because I was living with friends, so I can't believe. So then I went back. I saw the site where the results are declared. Then I saw, yeah, results are declared. Then when I saw the results with my eyes, then I believed, yeah, it is AIR 3. Then I first called my parents. So my father didn't know what AIR is. So I told him that I am AIR 3. So उनका कहना था first कौन आया. So then I explained him that I am not third in class, I am third in whole India. So he was also shocked. So he said, okay, congrats. And then I told my mother, and that's how the moment was.
That was really an interesting story from your side. Varun, can you share your experience?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yes.
तो मैं तो 9:30 बजे ही उठा था, यानी जस्ट, यानी मेरे ख्याल से रिजल्ट भी उसके करीब ही कुछ आए थे। तो 9:33 को व्हाट्सएप पे किसी ने ग्रुप में मैसेज किया कि रिजल्ट्स आ गए। तो मैं उठा, फिर मैंने जैसे मेरा फाउंडेशन का भी जो रिजल्ट है वो अपनी बहन से चेक करवाने लगाया था, एंड तब भी मेरे को अच्छे मार्क्स आए थे। तो मैंने इस बार भी अपनी बहन को ही बोला, उसको अपना रोल नंबर और वो WRO शेयर कर दिया था। मैं बोला तू ही देख ले। मैं नींद में से उठा, उसको 1 दिन पहले ही दे दिया था मैंने। मैं बोला तू देख ले अभी। तो उसने देखा, पहले तो 1-2 बार रॉन्ग हो गया, फिर मैंने उसको डाल के देखा। मैं बोला एक्सेप्ट वाला सर्च वाला बटन तू ही क्लिक कर। फिर उसने बोला कि पास है। मैं बोला ठीक है, वो पता है मेरे को पास हूँ, मेरे को मार्क्स बता कितने हैं। तो वो बोलती ग्रुप 1 302 है। तो मेरे को थोड़ा रिलीफ हुआ, क्योंकि मेरा एम था कि मेरे को 600 मार्क्स लाने हैं। फिर उसने बोला ग्रुप 2 251। फिर मेरे को लगा यार थोड़े कम हो गए, 600 का टारगेट रखा था यार, 553 हुए। फिर मम्मी बोलती है कि AIR वगैरह क्या है। मैं बोला यार 500 वैसे जनरली 590 to 600 के आसपास AIR क्लोज होते हैं। मैं बोला 553 पे कहाँ से AIR रहेगा, 590 600 पे क्लोज हो जाते हैं। मैं बोला फिर भी चलो एक बार रोल नंबर डाल के देखते हैं, वहाँ पे नीचे ऑप्शन आते हैं। तो मैं डाला रोल नंबर और देखा AIR 42, तो मेरे को पहले तो स्टार्टिंग में बिलीव ही नहीं हुआ कि 553 पे भी AIR आ जाता है। तो उस टाइम पे फिर बहुत ही अमेजिंग फील था।
It is really a well-deserved success. So,
Thank you.
like it really gives goosebumps to hear stories of you all. And ये experience करना, I think, आज जितने भी student session में join हुए, it's like dream to everyone to experience this day in their life. So let us move for the questionnaire session, and like which are the most common questions that student wants to know. So I would request Rajshri to continue the session. Over to you, Rajshri.
Thank you, Harpreet. So let us move towards the most common question asked by the students. So my question is to you, Rajan. What was your strategy for the practical subject like taxation, accounts, advanced accounts, like how to prepare those subjects?
Okay, so basically for practical subjects, I would suggest one thing. First thing, you have to focus on concepts. When you have proper understanding of the concepts, then you go on and start solving the questions. One important thing while solving the questions is you have to mark the difficult adjustments or the questions which you cannot attempt without seeing, or the questions which are tricky. So as you mark these questions in the first revision, in second revision, it will be helpful. You have to do only these questions which you have marked. Later on, when the D-Day comes, it is a 1.5 day before the examination, you have a short list of questions that are the trickiest questions that you can complete it at that point of time.
Okay, we get a brief idea like practicing is the key. जितना ज़्यादा practice करूँगी उतना ज़्यादा conceptual clarity आएंगी. So okay, my next question is to Kunal. What was like most of the students struggle a lot in theory subject like audit, EISSM. EISSM is like for new for all. So what special tips or what peculiarities are there to give such subjects?
When we talk about theory subjects, so revisions play a key role in that. The number of there is a direct relation between the number of revisions and your success. The more the number of revisions you can do, the more success you will get. And in my case, I used to do active revisions also, but there were certain passive revisions also. Like I used to stick wall charts where I used to do lunch and dinner. So when I am doing lunch, so in front of me there is a wall chart. So while doing lunch also I used to study, and in my mobile phone also my contacts are saved with section numbers, essay numbers. So these passive techniques also helped me a lot. And doing this, you will not even understand how many times you have did the revision. You would not realize. So when I saw my result, then I realized, yeah, it worked. So these are you need to increase how much you can. Means you need to give your best in doing revisions, because during the course you have, when you are seeing your lectures, you have pretty much knowledge, practical knowledge and all conceptual clarity, but at the last you need to write in exams what you have learned. So for these, revisions play a very great role in that.
Okay, cumulative revision is the must. Okay, जितना ज़्यादा revise करोगे उतना ज़्यादा मतलब ज़्यादा learn. So okay, next question to Varun. Tell us the importance of making notes. Like आपने side by side ही classes के साथ notes prepare किए, या फिर मतलब revision के time आपने notes prepare किए, और fruit क्या था इसका exam के 1.5 days पहले?
तो वैसे सच मैंने कोई सब्जेक्ट में नोट्स तो प्रिपेयर नहीं किए थे, सिवाय यानी लॉ के, वो सर ने जो मेरे प्रोवाइड किए थे, तो लॉ में ही मैंने नोट्स का यूज़ किया था। बाकी दूसरे सब्जेक्ट्स में जो EISSM ऑडिट रहा, तो उसमें मॉड्यूल में ही मैं इंपॉर्टेंट जो है वो कभी कभार मार्क कर देता था। तो एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले तो वही काम है जो कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी है एंड वो, क्योंकि थियरी सब्जेक्ट्स बहुत प्रॉब्लम देते हैं आखिरी दिन पे, यानी पढ़ना बहुत दिक्कत जाता है। तो जो मार्किंग्स की हुई थी एंड कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी, वो उस दिन काम आती है।
Sorry, okay, मतलब notes होने भी precise होने चाहिए notes. Okay, so now I hand over to the Ankush from Navi Mumbai.
you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'll put the first question to Ranjan. How much is RTP, MTP solving past examinations question papers are important, and up to what attempt we should be doing generally? Can you guide this on to the students on this?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, RTP, MTP past year questions are what the institute provides us. So it is very much important that we do the stuff that the institute is providing us. So it's better to do what institute provides than any other faculty made questions or the subject wise that the faculties or the teachers or the authors make up. It is very important to do RTP and MTP questions. And second thing, the number of attempts which you should do. I guess institute publishes only last 5 to 6 attempts RTPs on the site and last 2 attempts MTP on the site. So it's better if you do that. If you have more time, you can do more the better.
Yeah, well said. Institute publishes 2 attempts MTP and past 5 years, and that's more than useful. Thank you for the answer. Now I'd like
So,
next question
sorry
to
to
Varun.
interrupt, but yes, sorry to interrupt, but may I add something to that RTP
Sure.
and MTP?
You can. Yeah.
तो जब MTP और RTP सॉल्व करते थे तो मेरे ख्याल से जो मैं करता था यानी टाइमर एक सेट करके सॉल्व करता था, तो उससे हमको एक अपनी स्पीड का भी पता चलता है कि हमको वही 100 मार्क्स का पेपर सॉल्व करना है, तो हमको एक अपनी स्पीड का एनालिसिस होता है। एंड उसके बाद जब MTP हम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं उसके बाद मैं यानी ग्रुप स्टडी वाला था, तो मैं अपने एक दोस्त के साथ बैठ के सॉल्व करता था ये सब। तो मैं उसको अपनी MTP यानी जो आंसर शीट है वो देता था एंड उसकी मैं लेता था, हम एक दूसरे के आंसर शीट चेक करते थे। एंड उसके बाद जो है हम एनालाइज करते थे कि क्या मिस्टेक्स हुई है, क्योंकि सिर्फ सॉल्व करके मतलब नहीं है, हम सॉल्व करते जा रहे हैं, हमने 6-7 पेपर सॉल्व कर दिए, बट उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है। अगर हम वो जो मिस्टेक्स हमने वो MTPs में जब पेपर सॉल्व किया वो की, वो अगर हम उसको रेक्टिफाई नहीं कर रहे तो फिर कोई मतलब का नहीं है कि हम हो सकता है भले 2-4 ही MTP सॉल्व करें एंड 1-2 पेपर ही प्रीवियस ईयर के सॉल्व करें, बट हमको वो एनालाइज करना जरूरी है कि हमारे मिस्टेक्स क्या हो रहे हैं एंड उसको हमको हमेशा फिर आगे रेक्टिफाई करना है।
Thank you, Varun, for your inputs. I've seen this strategy work for many rankers and toppers, and students have told me this. So it will be resourceful for everyone. So I'll put the next question to you: that how much time we should allot for a question in examination? Because some questions are time consuming, and students often lack time management in exam. So can you add something on that?
तो यानी ऐसे 20 मार्क्स जैसे अकाउंट्स अगर कॉस्टिंग में तो 20 मार्क्स के ईच क्वेश्चन होते हैं, 5 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, तो 20 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन के लिए अप्रॉक्स में एक 30 मिनट्स का टाइम लेता था। 30 मिनट्स के हमारे पास 6 टाइम स्लॉट्स हैं, यानी जैसे वैसे हमारे पास 120 मार्क्स का पेपर सॉल्व करने लायक टाइम बचना चाहिए, बट कुछ क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा टाइम लेते, कुछ कम लेते। एंड मैंने कोई भी पेपर में फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन से ऐसे सीक्वेंस वाइज सॉल्व नहीं किया था, तो मैं वो क्वेश्चन सबसे पहले उठाता जो मेरे को बहुत ईजी लग रहा है या मेरे को आता है अच्छे से। तो एक बार वो अगर हो गया मेरा, यानी ऐसा लगता है कि 20-40 मार्क्स का मेरा पेपर हो गया और वो भी बहुत जल्दी हो गया एंड वो आता भी था, तो इसमें से भाई पक्का रहता है कि 40 में से 40 या 35 तो मिल जाना है, तो एक कॉन्फिडेंस भी आता है अपने आप में, और आगे जो हमको क्वेश्चन थोड़े टफ लग रहे हैं उनके लिए टाइम भी सेव होता है। तो एक एवरेज एक 20 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन के 30 मिनट्स रखता था मैं।
Thank you so much. So I'd like to put the next question to Kunal. How did you revise the whole syllabus in last 1 day? As we say, that is the most important phrase, and most of the students struggle in the last 1.5 days of the revision. So can you add something on that?
1.5 days. So when the last moment came, we waste time in thinking that where we should start. So first thing you need to keep in mind, your 1.5 days is properly planned 1 month before only. So you know what, if when that moment comes, you don't waste time in thinking what we have to do now. So this one point you need to keep in mind, that every hour of that 1.5 days is planned, what you have to do. And next thing, you need to first of all forget what happened in last paper, because I know that happened with me in audit as well. I wasted the day, the exam day, when I came when I gave audit paper and came back home. So that day I wasted because my paper went bad. So this I regret now also, because you need to forget that, otherwise it is difficult to focus on the next paper. So when you come home, take a 1 or 2 hour sleep and forget what you have done in last paper and just focus on next paper. And if you have already planned So you will not waste time in thinking and you will quickly start. And I think you should not see that there are 1.5 days. You should see that you have 30 hours. So this, so managing whole course, if you have done hard work since 7 months, then just you have to go through once whole course, and I can assure you that the thing you saw in that last 1.5 days, you will never forget that if it comes in exam. So your coverage matters a lot. So it is, see, you have to focus on maximum coverage. I know 100% cannot be done, but if you do 95% also, then you are well prepared for exams. So this I would like to conclude now.
Ankush, unmute yourself.
Uh, Rajan and Varun, would you like to add something on this?
Yeah, I would like to say one thing that whatever revisions we do, so first revision, second revision, the whole point behind revision is that you have to plan your 1.5 day. So the more the revisions you do, and in that process, you have to cut down things so that in the last 1.5 day, you are able to focus on the things which are most important for you, because you cannot cover the entire syllabus, the entire module in the last 1.5 day. But then you need to cut down things, or you need to choose things which are important and which are not less important from your perspective.
Varun, would you like to add something on this?
तो मैं उसका तो नहीं बोल सकता। एक बात बोलना चाहूंगा, जब पेपर के बाद यानी हमको ऐसा लगता है कभी कि कोई पेपर खराब गया है, यानी जैसे मेरी एक बुरी आदत थी, आपको फॉलो नहीं करना चाहिए वैसे, कि मैं पेपर के बाद एनालाइज करता था कि मेरा कितना राइट गया है यानी। बट ये नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि बहुत स्टूडेंट्स को ऐसा होता है कि उससे फिर नर्वस फील होता है कि भाई मेरा पेपर खराब चल गया। बट मेरे साथ भी ऐसे इंस्टेंसेस हुए, मैं हर पेपर एनालाइज करता था कि मेरे को कितने आने वाले, बट अगर मेरे को लगता था कि कोई पेपर में कम आने वाले, तो ये मेरे लिए एक टारगेट रहता था कि ये जो इसमें मैंने एक अपना टारगेट रखा था ये सब्जेक्ट में, जो इसमें मेरा कम हुआ है वो मेरे को अगले सब्जेक्ट में कवर करना है, अगले पेपर में कवर करना है। तो ऐसा नहीं कि ये पेपर खराब गया तो हम उसको नर्वस हो जाए कि या पेपर ही ना दे अगला, बट हमको ये एम करना है कि इसमें जो हमारी कमी रहेगी वो हमको अगले पेपर में भी कवर करना है।
So I'd put next question to all three of you, that how important, what is the role of coaching? I'll put it this way, can a student doing self-study achieve a rank or can qualify the examinations? Or what is the importance of coaching in it? Open for all three, you can speak one by one.
Okay, so I will start first. So first thing, coaching is important. Like, it depends on the student. Some have concepts, some can understand the text just by reading it, some might not. But this is the saying that my teachers also used to say in school. So the role of teacher is to take you to the well. It is you who are going to drink the water. So टीचर कैन, वो आपको पानी आपके हाथ में आके आपको पानी नहीं पिलाने वाले, वो आपको वेल तक लेके जाएंगे, बाद में पानी पीना है नहीं पीना ये आपकी जिम्मेदारी है. So the role of teachers is to that extent only, just to clear your concepts, to give you conceptual clarity. After that, it is upon you how you do your revision and how you practice regularly.
Yeah, Kunal, you can put your point now, or Varun.
Yeah. So the option only left is coaching, and we need someone who can teach us, because we are not like computers or that we can learn by ourselves only. So coaching plays an important to some extent, but at the end matters what you did, because like teacher can teach once the syllabus, but I think 70% hard work is ours. So that you need to keep in mind, that if you join good coaching you will score good marks. This is not necessary. So if you can afford coaching, so you should go for that, because uh, you will have a guide who will take you to the exams, but you have to do self study also. So both matters a lot, and you need to keep a balance between them.
So informative. Varun, you would like to add something on this?
तो ये इसमें भी ऐसे है कि हर एक स्टूडेंट पे अपना डिपेंड करता है। हमने एक एआर देखा है ये अटेम्प्ट में कि जो सेल्फ स्टडी से भी हुआ है, बट मेरे केस में मुझे कंसेप्चुअल अगर क्लैरिटी चाहिए तो टीचर की एक ज़रूरत पड़ेगी मुझे। तो कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी के लिए एक टीचर की ज़रूरत है, सिर्फ पढ़ने के लिए नहीं। एक कभी हम डिमोटिवेटेड हो जाते हैं तो हमको कुछ एक पाथ दिखाने के लिए, एक मोटिवेट करने के लिए। जो मैं एआर आया हूँ तो वो मैंने सोचा नहीं था यानी स्टार्टिंग में जब इंटर चालू किया था कि मेरे को एआई आना है या कुछ, बट आफ्टर 3 to 4 months मेरे को मेरे टीचर्स ने और मेरे पेरेंट्स की वजह से मैंने ये सोचा कि मैं एक एफर्ट देता हूँ कि ट्राई करता हूँ एआई आने का, एंड मैंने वो मेहनत किया एंड वो आज मैं एआई हूँ। तो सिर्फ एक वही नहीं है कि हम पढ़ाई, बट एक हमको एक पाथ भी दिखाते हैं हमारे टीचर्स, तो इसलिए बाकी सेल्फ स्टडी तो हमको करनी है खुद से, वो तो सेल्फ स्टडी एंड टाइम पे जो है, लास्ट टाइम पे वो हमको हमारी सेल्फ स्टडी काम आने वाली है।
This we can say those who are doing self study can also achieve rank, and the role of teachers, no matter what how good the coaching you're taking, is up to a certain extent. As Rajan said, that it is upon you to drink the water. The role of the teacher is to bring you near the well, till the well. So like to now hand over the dais to Harpreet.
Thank you, Ankush. Well, I have the next question for Rajan. Rajan, it is often like we see the trend of ICI, EISSM, audit, ऐसे जो subjects है, उसमें most of the questions they are case study based, and it is often difficult for students to analyze that which question is related to which chapter. और ऐसे भी होता है कि हम लोग question पढ़ लेते, but still we don't reach to the conclusion ki what is the answer or how to present the answer. So what would you like to say about this?
Okay, so one of the solutions for this problem is, I guess, the ICI MCQ booklet, because it has clearly defined all the MCQs and case scenarios that can be asked in examination, not just in MCQs, but it also helps with, because the way we think while solving the MCQs help us in solving the practical questions as well. The questions which is ICI is providing, not only its MCQs, but also in RTP, MTP can be a good practice for it. Another important thing is the entire coverage of syllabus, because many students think that if they do only 2 or 3 chapters, they will be able to pass the examination. So, but if you have the entire coverage of the syllabus, then you can think upon that from which part of the syllabus or from which chapter this question is being asked. So if you know from which chapter the question is being asked, then you can analyze the various options you have in front of it or front of you. Because as case study, like for strategic management, we have focus differentiation or differentiation and the lowest cost firm. So in way to analyze them, you need to know the concepts of them, and not just, so if somebody just do lowest cost and differentiation but does not do focus differentiation concepts, so will not be able to analyze which question or how exactly to answer the question, or from which part of the module the question is being asked, which part of the concepts the question is being asked. So entire coverage is necessary, and for practice, I guess RTP, MTP, and MCQ booklet is good.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Kunal, would you like to add something to this?
Understand what is the correct, like in audit, what is the correct essay to be applied. So we usually get in dilemma that this essay also can be applied, this can be applied. So at the end, what matters how you have studied during your lectures. If you have studied with great clarity, then you will not face this problem. So during the lectures, what matters should be your focus should be on conceptual clarity, and the number of questions you go on solving, you automatically get that clarity, like if ICI asks this, so we have to answer from the point of view of this essay only. So this can be achieved only by solving n number of questions, like from RTP module, wherever you can get. And that MCQ booklet is pretty good, like they have framed the questions in such a nice way that you get clarity, so that you need to go through at least once, so that clarity you will get, and at the end you will not face this problem.
Okay. Varun, would you like to add something?
कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी मेरे को लगता है जो इम्पोर्टेंट है इसमें। बाकी ये थियरी में तो मैंने भी स्ट्रगल किया थोड़ा बहुत, तो मुझे भी राजन भाई और कुणाल भाई से सजेशंस लेने पड़ेंगे।
Okay, so like conceptual clarity is the key, and also practicing is the key. When both are mixed, I think the query can be solved, right? So I have the next question, that how social media affected your studies, because we see कि exams नजदीक तो आ रहे हैं, but still students keep on scrolling and scrolling. So how was your strategy to deal with social media because it is very difficult to concentrate. So would you like to add something to this, Rajan?
Okay, for social media, I would like to say that I used to tell my mom whenever I was using social media. Like I used to set a time period of 5 to 10 minutes. I used to tell her that just tell me or notify me after 5 to 10 minutes. And once she used to notify me, like 5 to 10 minutes, I used to scroll like LinkedIn or Twitter, whatever. And then after 5 to 10 minutes, once she notifies it, I used to keep the phone with her and then go back to study. This is what I followed.
Okay. Kunal?
Actually, I was not in any social media till my exams. I opened my
Kunal, your audio is little low. Can you be little louder?
Yeah, so I was not in any social media platform during my intermediate study. I recently only opened my Instagram account, so I not faced problem for that.
Varun, would you like to add something?
तो मैं तो वैसे सोशल मीडिया जनरली यूज करता था, ऐसा नहीं कि बिल्कुल बंद था मेरा। बट एक ऐसा है कि एक खुद से ही आपको पूछना चाहिए कि कितनी देर मैंने टाइम पास करना चाहिए सोशल मीडिया पे। ऐसा नहीं कि आप कंटिन्यूसली टाइम वेस्ट करते जा रहे हो। आप यूज करो, यानी होता है कि हमको बीच में ब्रेक की जरूरत होती है, तो तब सोशल मीडिया यूज करो। बट आप खुद से ही एक बार हो जाए कि बस हो गया है अभी मेरा ब्रेक खत्म, तो आप खुद से पढ़ाई पे लग जाओ। एंड ये है कि आखिरी के 2 महीनों में तो मैंने भी सब डिलीट कर दिया था, बाकी उसके पहले तक मैंने यूज किया था। एंड ऐसा है कि किसको अगर लगता है कि यार जैसे बीजीएमआई वगैरह भी बहुत खेलते हैं, अभी मैं भी खेलता हूँ, बट तब यानी हमको ऐसा लगता है कि हम रोज खेलना चाहिए। बट मैं बोलूंगा कि फिर वो 2-3 महीने जो अभी है आखिरी के, इसमें आप डिलीट कर दो सच में। अभी एग्जाम्स के बाद हमारे पास इतना फ्री टाइम था कि यानी अभी खेल खेल के बोर हो रहा है, इंस्टाग्राम चला चला के बोर हो रहा है, इतना फ्री टाइम है हमारे पास। तो अभी आपको बहुत टाइम मिलने वाला है एग्जाम के बाद। अभी बस 3 महीने पूरी ईमानदारी से मेहनत करो और सब ये सब एक तो या तो मिनिमाइज कर दो एकदम टाइम, या तो सब डिलीट ही कर दो।
Okay, like self-control is the key. We can say that.
सेल्फ
खुद पर control होना is the main thing, right? So I have next question. We all know that it is very difficult to maintain the level of consistency from start to the end. Because अगर हम 8 to 9 hours study कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसा बहुत बार होता है कि उसमें से 7 to 8 hours are the productive hours, and it is very necessary to refresh your mind. So what you all did to maintain that balance and to refresh yourself? Because is the break necessary?
Yeah, I guess the break is necessary because it's a human body, it need breaks. So after a period of time, you need short breaks. Like many a times it happened with me, like after 10 to 15 days of study, I used to take one day off. I used to go somewhere, visit a hill station or anything. And for anything like to take breaks, I used to read some books or magazines and newspapers and all. And I also used to go through some comedy shows, sitcoms, etc.
Okay, Kunal.
Much necessary because you can't go on studying. There should be an like pause button also in your life. So whenever you feel like यार बहुत हो गया आज के लिए, so take a pause and break. I mean मतलब लोग ब्रेक को क्या समझते हैं, ब्रेक में भी वही वही मोबाइल उठाएंगे, फिर वो सोशल मीडिया पे चले जाएंगे, फिर वो कोई ब्रेक हुआ ही नहीं एटलीस्ट। सो ब्रेक मतलब वो होता है जिसमें आप कुछ कहीं बाहर जाए, घूमने जाए, अपने फैमिली के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करें, अपने जो फ्रेंड्स है उनके साथ टाइम स्पेंड करें। सो वो एक रियल ब्रेक होता है जो आपको रिचार्ज करता है। सो मैं बहुत ये करता था, और मैं तो कोई सोशल मीडिया पे था ही नहीं, तो वो जो टाइम लोग उस पर स्पेंड करते थे वो मैं अपनी फैमिली के साथ करता था। सो ये मेरे को एक पॉजिटिविटी देता था, और मेरे फ्रेंड्स भी बहुत अच्छे थे। मतलब मेरे को जब भी नेगेटिविटी आती थी मैं उनको कॉल करूंगा या घर ही चले जाऊंगा। सो ये जो ब्रेक्स है आप उसको कैसे यूटिलाइज करते हो वो भी बहुत मैटर करता है।
Right. Varun, would you add to like?
तो मैं भी ब्रेक्स वगैरह तो लेता ही था पढ़ते वक्त, और मैं ब्रेक्स में या तो गाने वगैरह सुनता था या कोई स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी वगैरह देखता था। बट जैसे मैंने बोला कि मैं ग्रुप स्टडी वाला था, तो मैं और मेरा एक दोस्त साथ में मिलके बैठते थे, पूरा दिन भर जो भी पढ़ाई करते थे साथ में करते थे। तो हम एक दूसरे को ही चिल्लाते थे, हमारा ब्रेक कुछ ज़्यादा एक्सटेंड हो रहा है तो हम 10-15 मिनट का ब्रेक लेते थे, हम एक दूसरे को ही चिल्लाते थे ताकि हमारा ब्रेक ज़्यादा लंबा ना चले। तो मैं ब्रेक्स लेता था ऐसे छोटे छोटे, एंड उसमें इंजॉयमेंट एंटरटेनमेंट करता था, गाने सुनता था या कभी ऐसा कुछ।
So like I can summarize that breaks are important. Breaks actually don't waste your time, but they actually save your time, right?
Yes.
It is like a refreshment to your mind. So breaks are really necessary. Um, so my next question is, we all have some weakness in a subject. See, we have 8 subjects in our intermediate syllabus, and sometimes each student cannot be perfect in every subject. It is a subject that is weak to everyone. Like some get difficulty to solve the taxation, some struggle in theory. So what are the special strategies to prepare for the subjects that you are weak in, or that are like really hard to maintain that consistency? So Rajan, what would you like to say for this?
Okay, so first of all, if a subject is your weakness, so you have to give more time to that subject as compared to other subject, so that you at least pass in that subject, even if you get exemptions or anything in other subjects. So for that weakness, what I used to do is, but like for me, it was theory. Like I did not like theory much, so I used to take theory in the morning, because in the morning you are most freshen up, and you are most fresh in the morning. So it's you have more energy in morning time. And me being a morning person, so I used to wake up early. So it was like a fresh mood at that time. So you can take up your weakest subject, give it more time, a bunch of time, proper productive time, so that you can overcome the weakness.
True. Kunal, would you like to add something?
Everybody has somewhat 2 or 3 subject as weaker subject, and the rest are stronger subjects. So the only solution is like in cricket. If a batsman's weak point is cover drive, so what he can do? Practice more and more cover drive. So what we can do? Give more time to that subject, and we can give less time to the subjects that are strong for us. So the number of revisions and the number of practice can be increased for weaker subjects as well. And the more you go on studying that weaker subjects, at the end you will start loving that subjects, because you have given so much of time to that throughout your journey. And when you start loving a subject, then it is no longer a weaker subject for you. So this you can do, you can give more and more time to that subjects that are weak.
Okay, Varun.
तो ऐसे मेरा भी थियरी सब्जेक्ट से वीक थे। एंड मेरा बोलना भी सेम है कि एक बार हमको लगता है कि हमको सब्जेक्ट नहीं पसंद है, बट हम उसको 2-3 बार अगर पढ़ेंगे तो भले हमको पसंद नहीं है बट हमको करना है। हम वो 1-2 बार हम ऐसे रीड करेंगे तो हमको कुछ ना कुछ तो उससे क्लैरिटी आने वाली है। तो बस वही हम उसको बार बार करते रहेंगे तो हमको थोड़ा बहुत तो जम ही जाएगा उसका।
Yes, I can summarize that जो weak subjects है उसको ज़्यादा अगर time देकर करोगे, then weakness can be converted into your strength, right? So we have some questions from students as well. First, the question is from Vivekanand. How do you tackle procrastination in study? Like it happens कि यार अभी नहीं करना है, अभी मन नहीं है. ऐसे भी कई बार आते हैं situations कि हम लोगों का कहीं ना कहीं backlog रह जाता है. So what to do that time? You all
I
can
think
say.
self motivation is important at that point of time, because like it happens with us also. Like we procrastinate, it happens every time. So what I used to do is to talk with someone, like why you are procrastinating, like have a proper discussion about why, what is it, why is. Sometimes it happens that we are, like I said, the weaker subjects. We are doing the weaker subjects. We try to procrastinate कि ऐसे भी नहीं आ रहा है, बाद में ही कर लेते हैं. This happens. So you can interact with someone who is a senior of you, or your parents, sister, sibling, anyone. That interaction will help you to understand the root cause of that procrastination. Then if you work on that root cause of the procrastination, then you can move forward.
Kunal, would you like to say something?
For a particular subject, I am feeling lazy that I don't want to study it now. So I used to think, what if I failed in this subject? So that imagination automatically triggers you, नहीं यार अभी करते हैं. मतलब वो जो imagination you do, like if we fail in that subject, we need to give entire group once more. So this automatically triggers a fear in you for that subject, and you start studying. Fear sometimes is better than taking it lightly. So this you can do. You can imagine that if you fail in that subject, then what will happen. So this will help you a lot.
Varun?
एंड आई थिंक हम जब घर पे पढ़ाई करने बैठते हैं ना, तब हमको ज़्यादा आलस आता है। तो मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि या तो हम कोई लाइब्रेरी लगा दे या कहीं और जाके। तो मेरा टाइम सेट था कि मैं दोस्त के घर पे जाके पढ़ता था। तो मेरा टाइम सेट था, मैं 11 से बैठूंगा 8 तक, उसके घर पे जाके ही पढ़ता था। तो वो मेरे को खुद ही सुबह 2:30 बजे कॉल करना चालू कर देता था कि आ रहा कि नहीं, आ रहा कि नहीं, कब आ रहा। तो मेरा वो है कि मैं इसलिए खुद के घर पे पढ़ता ही नहीं था कभी। खुद के घर पे पढ़ूंगा तो मालूम है आलस आएगा, तो कहीं और चले जाओ पढ़ने।
Okay, so like, hello, am I audible?
Yes.
So like I can say that every bad situation will have something positive, and I really like that what Kunal said. Just think, what if you fail in that subject? That fear can really trigger you to put your efforts more than 100%, right? So like next question we have from Vivek, like what is the right time to study? Some are early birds, or some would like to study in the night. So what is the right times to study?
I don't think there is any right time. It depends on the student.
Like I never studied early morning. My studies would start at 11 a.m.
Like ऐसा ना हो जाए कि आप सुबह उठो and फिर पढ़ना नहीं है, वापस सो जाओ. So like the time which suits you the best, right?
Yes.
क्योंकि किसी को होता है कि सुबह सुबह में नहीं जमता है यानी, जैसे मैं बहुत लेट उठता हूँ, मेरे को सुबह उठना ही नहीं पड़ता है कभी। तो मैं अपना टाइमिंग वैसे सेट किया था पढ़ने का, उस हिसाब से। वैसा जरूरी नहीं कि सुबह में ही पढ़ना है या रात में ही पढ़ना है, जिसको जो टाइम सूट होता है उस हिसाब से।
Okay, so like the time which is best suited to
Yeah.
you can do that time. Yes, the recording will be shared on the YouTube within 1 or 2 days, and students who have their questions can post in the chat box. So we have like how to handle the situation when answer as per module and RTP MTP doesn't match. मतलब जहाँ पर treatments answers के different होते हैं RTP MTP and हमारे solution से, and we often panic that time. So what to do? Anyone can you answer?
In this situation, only the role of your teacher comes. So if you are confused that which is the right answer and if I am wrong or like what we should follow, then you should first go to your teacher, ask him that what is the right solution for that, because we can't judge what is right. More experienced person, a teacher or a seniors can guide us that yeah, this is the right answer, and or we can do a research. Because at that time all faces means I used to face this confusion as well. But if we do some research and if we ask a seniors, then it can be cleared.
Okay, like you can approach your teachers if you have any doubt, right? So the next question is how to manage college attendance as well as CA inter. It becomes very difficult. Varun, Rajan, anyone can you answer?
हमारे कॉलेज में अटेंडेंस जरूरी नहीं था।
Honest answer.
Like how to balance the college life and CA life? It is like direct question. Any one of you like regular college?
It's very rare is the situation you take a regular college, because we all know that managing it is difficult. But there are students, my friends, like most of them are from Delhi University, they take regular college, and they so in that situation the only option is like you prepare for 15 months. You need to skip one attempt and give more time to intermediate as well if you want to manage your college as well. So this is the only solution. You take more time for intermediate, and you need to skip one attempt, because if you want to regularly go to college, then at least 15 to 20 months are needed to prepare for CA intermediate. So this is the only solution for that.
Okay. I think Rahul, you got your answer, right?
I just received one question. How many subjects means maximum subject we can study in a day, or we should study in a day?
I guess that depends upon the student. Like someone might do one subject for the entire day. Like I personally did two subjects a day, one theory, one practical, so that it can balance out. But mostly depends on students. So if you're not monotonous doing one subject a day, you can pick up that strategy. If you feel monotonous and you need a mix of theory and practical, then do two subjects a day.
Okay, Kunal.
Five, then you would get confused between subjects only. And if you do only one subject, then you will get bored, because entire day you are doing only that subject. So the means optimum solution is to do 2 to 3 subjects a day, depending upon your means your interest. And most of us mix a theory and practical, like one theory, two practical, or two theory, one practical, one theory, one practical. So you get interested in studying and you never get bored. So this would be the optimum solution for that.
Okay, Varun.
मैं भी 1 से 2 सब्जेक्ट करता था एक दिन में, ज्यादा नहीं.
ओके, सो जैसे भी सबका कन्वीनियंट होता है, मीन्स कोई एक थ्योरेटिकल सब्जेक्ट एक प्रैक्टिकल लेता है, या फिर मॉर्निंग टाइम प्रैक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट, आफ्टरनून थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट से लेते हैं, तो अपने अपने हिसाब से उसको मैनेज करना चाहिए, राइट? सो सम स्टूडेंट्स आर आस्किंग कि इफ जैसे अभी 2 मंथ्स बाकी है एग्जाम के लिए, तो 60 डेज या किसी को 40 डेज होता है, किसी का टाइम पीरियड कम ज्यादा होता है पढ़ाई के लिए, तो हाउ टू मैनेज अ ग्रुप? Yes, Rajan, please.
So I guess it depends on student also, like what exactly he has done till the date, like is he conceptually clear or not. So I guess 60 days and doing one group like 4 subjects, so it comes out approximately 15 days per subject. So it is quite manageable. You can do at least 3 to 4 revisions in 15 days per subject, because 60 days is a good amount of time. So I guess one group clearing in 60 days is able, you can able to do it.
Okay, Kunal. Kunal, we are not audible. Yeah.
So in last 2 months, the main focus should be giving on your full course test. I think at least 2 rounds of full course test, 2 tests. If you give, then you will be confident that yeah, I am able to write the paper in 3 hours and I know what to do in that 3 hours. So if you divide this 2 months, like 1 month for test, so along with test, 2 tests, you can do 2 revisions as well, because you study for giving tests also. And this 1 month you can focus more on revisions and revisions. And then the last month you should focus on tests, because at CA exams test matters a lot, because we during our studies we don't focus on writing practice. So what this last month is for writing practice and gaining confidence that yeah, I can complete my paper in 3 hours and I can score well. So this should be your strategy during this last 2 months.
Okay, Varun, please.
जो कुणाल भाई ने बोला कि आखिरी के 1 महीने में टेस्ट लगाना, वो उससे मैं बहुत एग्री करता हूँ, क्योंकि मैंने अपने जितने भी रिविजन्स किए थे, ऐसे अलग से कोई रिवीजन नहीं किए थे. मैं अपने टेस्ट सीरीज के हिसाब से ही रिवीजन करता था. यानी मेरी समझो कल जो टेस्ट है, तो मैं वही टॉपिक आज पढ़ने वाला हूँ, तो मेरा ऐसे ही रिवीजन होता था. तो मेरे ऐसे एक बार चैप्टर वाइज टेस्ट दिया था मैंने, एक बार 25% वाइज टेस्ट दिया था, एंड एक बार फुल पोर्शन. तो ऐसे 3 बार तो मेरा ऐसे ही ऑलरेडी रिवीजन हो गया था. तो इसे 1 महीना जो है फर्स्ट मंथ, इसमें वो इस पे फोकस कर सकते हैं कि जितना पोर्शन कवर कर सकते हैं उतना करें, एंड लास्ट के 1 मंथ में फिर टेस्ट सीरीज के साथ साथ जो टॉपिक्स उनके इधर मिस भी हो गए होंगे, तब टेस्ट के पहले आप वो टॉपिक्स को कवर करते हुए आप पोर्शन कंप्लीट कर सकते हो अपना।
ओके अभी मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट का एक बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा क्वेश्चन होता है कि जब पढ़ाई करते हैं, एक रिवीजन हो गया, नेक्स्ट रिवीजन के टाइम पे अगर उनको कंसेप्ट याद नहीं आता है तो वहाँ पे वो डीमोटिवेट हो जाते हैं, या फिर नेगेटिव फीयरिंग कुछ आ जाता है दिमाग में कि मुझे ये क्वेश्चन याद नहीं आ रहा है, मुझे इसका जवाब याद नहीं आ रहा है। तो इस सिचुएशन से बाउंस बैक करना कैसे करना चाहिए? विल स्टार्ट विथ वरुण।
तो आई थिंक ये सब चीज़ें तो मेरे साथ भी हुई थी, मैंने भी फेस किया था कि कुछ कुछ कंसेप्ट निकल जाते दिमाग से। तो बस वही है कि अब भूल गए तो एक बार वापस उसको हम रिवाइज कर लेते हैं, एंड उसको हमको अब याद रखना है कि ये वाला कंसेप्ट मैं भूल गया था, तो एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले भी आप उस पर एक बार फोकस करके जाए। तो ऐसे सिचुएशंस हमारे साथ भी होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं होते हैं, बट इससे डिमोटिवेट नहीं होना है हमको। बस वो जो हमारा मिस्टेक था उसको हम अभी सीख लेंगे, वो जो है रिवाइज कर लेंगे बस।
यस राजन प्लीज।
I think what Varun said is very correct because it happens with everyone. सभी के साथ होता है कि पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के बाद, क्योंकि 8 सब्जेक्ट्स रिवाइज करने हैं तो एक पर्टिकुलर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के बाद इट इज नेचुरल कि आप भूल जाओ। दैट इज हाउ द ह्यूमन ब्रेन फंक्शंस। तो बार बार रिविजन करना इज द की टू इट, एंड इट यू हैव टू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक्सेप्ट दैट इट हैपेंस। सो फिर इसलिए तो फिर आप डीमोटिवेट नहीं होंगे। सो एक्सेप्टेशन इज नेसेसरी एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम।
कुणाल।
पॉजिटिवली देखना चाहिए कि अच्छा हाँ, अच्छा ये टॉपिक मेरे को नहीं आ रहा है, ये मेरे को अभी पता चल गया। हमको इस एंगल से सोचना चाहिए, ठीक है मेरे को अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है तो अभी पढ़ लेता हूँ। अच्छा है अगर अगर ये एग्जाम में पता चलता कि मेरे को ये नहीं याद आ रहा है, तो उससे बेटर है कि वो आज पता चल गया। सो ये एंगल से सोच के उसको आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। और ऑब्वियस है कि अगर आज मैं 10 नाम कोई अपने 10 दोस्तों के याद करूंगा, फिर वो मेरे से 10 दिन आके मिलेंगे, मेरे को याद नहीं रहने वाले। सो ये ऑब्वियस चीज है। और वो सब्जेक्ट्स ही है ना, गाने नहीं है, गाने तो भी याद हो जाते हैं, वो सब्जेक्ट्स है। ऑब्वियस है भूलना है। सो की है कि रिवाइज करते जाओ जितना, और एग्जाम में जब वो क्वेश्चन जब हम देखते हैं ना तो हमको ऑटोमेटिकली पॉइंट आउट हो जाता है, हाँ ये मैं पढ़ा हूँ। सो ये नहीं है कि याद नहीं आ रहा है, वो प्रॉपरली अगर आपने करा है तो ऑब्वियस है कुछ ना कुछ याद आ ही जाएगा एग्जाम में, हम भूलेंगे नहीं उसको। सो यही है कि पॉजिटिवली देखो और बस आगे बढ़ते जाओ।
ओके सोशल मीडिया का पढ़ाई में कितना यूज लेना चाहिए?
I guess we have already discussed about social media. So थोड़ा बहुत यूज होता है सोशल मीडिया का, बिकॉज नाउअडेज नोट्स वगैरह ये सारी चीजें व्हाट्सएप से या सॉफ्ट कॉपीज में आते हैं। सो थोड़ा बहुत इंटरेक्शन तो होना ही है। और लाइक फॉर ब्रेक्स एंड ऑल आल्सो यू कैन यूज लाइक फॉर 5 to 10 minutes। बट फिर उसके बाद अगर आप यूज करते हो एंड इफ यू कैन मैनेज स्टडीज अलॉन्ग विद इट देन इट्स गुड। बट इफ अगर आप पूरा वहीं पे फोकस कर रहे हो और आप कुछ पढ़ नहीं पा रहे हो, सो इट इज नॉट गुड।
ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हरप्रीत प्लीज।
Okay, we have next question, that what is the success key to EIS? EIS and SM subject.
I guess there is no success key to EIS and SM subject. So, like the way it is structured, not we cannot score well in that subject, obviously, because it is too vast. It's not easy to learn. There is too much technicalities in it. So, what we can do is do cumulative revisions and repetitive revisions.
Kunal and Varun, would you like to add something?
इसका आंसर हो तो मेरे को भी पता करना है।
Like सबको ही डर है इस सब्जेक्ट का, ऐसे बोल सकते हैं फिर।
ऐसा
How
फिर
to
भी थोड़ा डुएबल रहता था, बाकी
हाँ।
ये इसमें तो दिक्कत जाती थी।
कुणाल।
कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड से रहते हैं, बट इसमें हमको कंप्यूटर्स, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग ये सब पढ़ना पड़ता है। सो अजीब लगता है कि काम कि एक टाइम पे लगता है यार मैं सीए ही दे रहा हूँ कि जेई दे रहा हूँ, ये ऐसा थॉट्स आने लग जाते हैं। सो वो ही रहता है कि वो सब्जेक्ट पसंद नहीं आता, इसलिए वो डिफिकल्ट लगता है। सो इसका यही है कि उसको बार बार करते रहो, क्योंकि देना तो है, उसमें भी 40 लाना ही है पास होने के लिए। सो कोई ऑप्शन तो है नहीं। सो उसको पढ़ते रहो, और जितनी हो सके मतलब उसमें हेडिंग्स जो रहते हैं ज्यादातर उसमें एक ही पैटर्न रहता है, सब हेडिंग्स जैसे पॉइंटर्स याद रख लिए, कीवर्ड्स याद रख लिए, तो वो आंसर फ्रेम करके हम लिख सकते हैं। सो उसको जितना रिवाइज कर सके उतना बेटर है।
एंड किसी को निमोनिक्स वाली ट्रिक्स भी सही लगती हो तो वो भी यूज कर सकते हैं।
We have next question, like how to prepare for audit. Again, a theory subject.
Okay. So for audit, I guess it is more of a conceptual as compared to AI session. So you can focus more on the concepts, mostly for the chapters where there is somewhat introduction of essays and all the standards. So it is very important you understand the standard first. But after a period of time, in particularly in audit, once you get conceptual clarity, it is very good for MCQs and for case study based scenario questions. But there are, after a period of time, you have to learn things for audit as well, because institute wants that we give proper answers for audit. So it's necessary that you have conceptual clarity, plus you need to learn certain things so that you can able to produce it in examination.
Varun, would you like to say something?
मेरा भी ऐसे ही कि कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी इसमें इंपॉर्टेंट है। जैसे 30 मार्क्स के तो एमसीक्यूज है एंड 14 मार्क्स के हमको करेक्ट इनकरेक्ट आने वाले। तो ये जो 44 मार्क्स का पार्ट है, ये स्कोरिंग भी है सबसे ज़्यादा, एंड इसमें ही सबसे ज़्यादा मार्क्स भी जा सकते हैं। तो अगर आपकी कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी रही तो इसमें आप अच्छा स्कोर कर सकते हो ये 44 मार्क्स के पार्ट में।
Right. So like conceptual clarity is the main key. We have next question: how to remember tax provisions for the long time?
I guess remembering anything, you have to do repetitive revisions. That is only the key. We have discussed about remembering EIS as well, I guess.
Is ICI module must or faculty's notes are sufficient to clear the exam? Anyone of you? Should we cover the questions that are out of ICI's module or that are provided by faculties?
A Bible, because we are giving CA exams and that is provided by ICI. So no doubt it is necessary. We should cover that because questions, sometimes it happens that copy paste questions come in exams from module. So obviously it is necessary, and whatever ICI provides, let it be RTP, MTP module, it is the most important notes that you need to follow, and faculty notes you follow it while you are doing lectures. So ICI module you can give time while revisions, and if you cover that module, then you can be assured that yeah, I have covered the entire syllabus. Otherwise you cannot be assured of even passing the exam. So it is must.
Yeah, true. We have next question, that how to deal with stress and anxiety before exams.
Okay, so that happens with everyone. That first you have to accept this thing that it happens with everyone. There is stress and anxiety all around because examinations are there in a few period of time. So I guess dealing with it is that you have to calm down yourself first of all. So you have to be cool and calm. Don't take stress. Like stress hota hai, I know, but cool रहना important है उस period of time पर. You do some activities like short activities for 2 to 5 minutes, which can help you calm down. Like watch some comedy. Like I personally am a big fan of comedy shows, so I used to watch 5 minutes a clip of comedy show. We have YouTube shorts these days, so that is less than a minute, so you can watch that to calm yourself down. Or before exam, what I used to personally do, 1 to 2 hours before exam, I used to not study, because you need to settle down, you need to calm down yourself so that you can appear in the examination properly.
Kunal and Varun?
अकाउंट्स के पेपर के बाद ऐसे मेरे को थोड़ा ऐसा मेरे को भी लगा था, यानी पेपर में इन वो आया था प्री एंड पोस्ट 20 मार्क्स के लिए, एंड मैं वो छोड़ के आया था। तो मेरे को ऐसा लगा था मेरा पेपर बहुत खराब गया है अकाउंट्स का। तो उसके बाद मैं जब घर पे आया, तब उस दिन मेरे ख्याल से इंडिया पहली बार थॉमस कप जीती थी बैडमिंटन में। तो मैं स्पोर्ट्स का भी बहुत फैन हूँ, एंड तो वो मैंने वो मैच के हाईलाइट्स देखा था उस दिन। एंड वो मैच में इंडियन वो प्लेयर थे, वो उसका नाम मुझे अभी एग्जैक्ट याद नहीं है, वो पहला सेट हार गया था। एंड उसने अब
लक्ष्य
उसके बाद
सेन।
यस, तो वो फर्स्ट सेट हार गया था एंड उसके बाद अब उसको दोनों सेट ही जीतने पड़ेंगे कंपलसरीली, तभी वो जीत पाएगा। तो ये मेरे लिए एक, ऐसे में स्पोर्ट्स अगर देख ले तो मेरे को इनसे मोटिवेशन मिलता है।
So good to hear that. We have next question, like how to deal with failures, like fail in May 2022 and how to bounce back. Like I think the self-motivation.
Yeah,
Can I-
that the one which I said for procrastination, the self-motivation thing, I think that will do appear.
And
And
I
एक
also like to mention that like to bounce back, Navi Mumbai had recently conducted a webinar regarding this. So you can of course refer that 90 days bounce back strategy for the upcoming attempt.
एक बात मेरे को इसमें ऐड करना है कि भले हम वो अटेम्प्ट में फेल होंगे, बट ये अटेम्प्ट में भी हमको अपना जो एम है वो बड़ा रखना है। यानी हम वैसे एम रखते हैं कि हमको 400 यानी सिर्फ हम पासिंग मार्क्स का एम रखते हैं वैसे कि भाई 400 आ जाए। तो जब हमारा एम ही 400 मार्क्स का है तो हम एंड करते 350, 360, 380 मार्क्स लाके जो एकदम उसके करीब रहता है, क्योंकि एग्जैक्ट जितना हमने सोचा है कभी उतने तो हमारे को मार्क्स आने वाले नहीं है। जैसे मैंने 600 मार्क्स का टारगेट रखा तो मैं 553 पे एंड हुआ। तो अगर हमारा टारगेट ही 400 मार्क्स का होगा तो हम शायद 380 मार्क्स, 360 मार्क्स पे एंड होंगे। एंड जब वो हम 10-20 मार्क्स से फेल होते हैं ना, तब वो सबसे ज्यादा बुरा लगता है स्पेशली। तो मैं एक बोलूंगा कि एक कम से कम एम अपना बड़ा रखो। एंड क्योंकि मेरा मानना है कि जो हमारे एफर्ट्स है वो हमारे एम के हिसाब से अलाइंड होते हैं। जैसे मैंने अपने स्टार्टिंग में जो अपना एम रखा था वो 500 मार्क्स का ही रखा था, यानी मैंने एआईआर का एम नहीं रखा था, मैं मार्क्स का एम रखता था। क्योंकि एआईआर मेरे को नहीं मालूम टॉप 50 कौन आने वाला है। मेरा एम तो मार्क्स का हो सकता है, मैं एक मार्क्स का एम रख सकता हूँ। तो मैंने जब 500 मार्क्स का एम रखा था तो मेरे एफर्ट्स बहुत कम थे। जब मैंने जैसे ही अपना टारगेट चेंज किया था 500 से 600, तो मैंने अपने अंदर ही देखा था चेंज कि मेरा जो एफर्ट्स है वो ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्रीज हो गए थे। तो वो ये कि मैं बोलूँगा कि एक एम अपना कम से कम बड़ा रखो। आपने अगर 500 मार्क्स का एम रखा है, 550 मार्क्स का एम रखा है, तो आप कम से कम समझो 450, 500 मार्क्स लाके तो एंड होंगे। अगर आपका एम उतना रहा तो आप एम ही 400 रखोगे तो आपको शायद 400 ही आ जाए, 420 आ जाए, 380 आ जाए।
Ankush, you raised hand.
I would like to ask one question which many students messaged me, and even I want to put forward below before all the three, that while in certain paper, कोई एक paper तो ऐसा हुआ होगा when you started the paper, you looked at the first question and it was like, I don't know this. So how to receive the paper? Like once you've started, कुछ नहीं आता तो, because what happens is 6 में से एक question student does not know and he's so demoralized, 5 questions he leaves and he ends up failing. So I would like inputs of all the three on this.
Okay, so it happened with me as well for audit. So after reading one or two questions, I was not able, like I had no idea upon it, because this time audit paper was a completely new set of questions, case study based questions that was very different from the regular pattern of the institute. So it happens with everyone, like many times it happens. So what is important there is you read the question again if you're not able to do that question. Still, if you cannot, or if you think that you're not able to do that question, skip that question. Go another question, read all the questions first, then try to understand which questions you can do, which you cannot do. So first attempt the questions which you could do. Like in what I did in audit, like for basically all theory subjects, I had the approach that first I have to solve the descriptive part, then the MCQ part. But for audit, as I said, I was not able to know the exact answer of the questions after reading it for the first time. So the questions which I knew the answer, I solved them first. Then I jumped to the MCQs. Like always, I used to do MCQ at the last part, but I jumped to the MCQs in between itself. I did the MCQs and then came to the questions in which I could not attempt or which I had no idea about them. So after reading 2 or 3 times the questions, understanding the last line of the question, because that is the key of the question, understanding it, reading it twice or thrice, trying, doing some interpretation of it, then try to write whatever you can.
Varun and Kunal, you like to add something on this? Your strategy or your approach?
Attitude matters a lot. With what attitude you are giving the paper. Like अगर मेरे साथ ऐसा होता था तो मेरे में इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आया, मेरे को नहीं आ रहा तो किसी को नहीं आ रहा। मतलब ये कॉन्फिडेंस लेके चलना पड़ता है, वो एटीट्यूड रखना पड़ता है। ठीक है, मेरे को भी नहीं आ रहा, किसी को नहीं आएगा। सो वो क्वेश्चन बेटर है कि आप लास्ट में करो, उसको लास्ट में रखो। अगर वो छूट भी गया तो कुछ था नहीं, वैसे भी आ रहा नहीं था, इसलिए उसको बेटर है उसको लास्ट में शिफ्ट कर देना और जो आ रहे हैं उनको पहले पहले कर देना। लाइक मेरे साथ ये टैक्स में हुआ था। टैक्स में एक जो 14 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन रहता है, सो वो मैंने छोड़ ही दिया। मतलब मैंने 86 मार्क का ही करके आया था, बट मेरे को पता था अगर मैं वो 14 मार्क का कर भी लेता उसमें सिर्फ मेरा टाइम वेस्ट होने वाला था, क्योंकि वो मेरे को पता है कुछ प्रोडक्टिव मेरा निकलने नहीं वाला था। सो 86 मार्क का करके मेरे को 81 आए। तो ये था कि उसको लास्ट में रख दो, और अगर हो गया तो अच्छा है, और मतलब कुछ ना कुछ पूरे पेपर में करते करते कुछ ना कुछ आ ही जाएगा वो क्वेश्चन का, एकदम से कुछ क्लिक हो गया बस वो लिख के आ जाओ। एंड बस वो एटीट्यूड रखना कि पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रहना चाहिए, इंस्टेड ऑफ कि यार यही क्यों नहीं आ रहा, बाकी 5 तो आ रहे हैं ना, ये सोचो अगर यही सोचेंगे कि ये क्यों नहीं आ रहा तो बाकी 5 जो आ रहे हैं वो भी गलत हो जाएंगे। सो वो एटीट्यूड रखना, और बेटर है ऐसे क्वेश्चंस को लास्ट में ही करना, ताकि आपका जो बेस्ट है आप वो पहले ही दे चुके हो।
जो स्टार्टिंग के 15 मिनट्स रहते हैं हमारे पास, तो उसमें हम ये एनालाइज करके रख सकते हैं कि हमको कौन से क्वेश्चन आते हैं। वो 15 मिनट में हमारे पास 6 क्वेश्चन है 20-20 मार्क्स के, एंड उसमें से हमको कोई भी 5 करने हैं। एक तो वैसे भी हमारे पास ऑप्शन है, तो आप वो सब एनालाइज कर दो कि आपको कौन से क्वेश्चन ज्यादा आते हैं। हमको हो सकता है पूरे 6 के 6 क्वेश्चन में से पूरे के पूरे नहीं आ रहे हो, यानी उसमें 6 में हर एक में 4 सब क्वेश्चन है, तो किसी में 3 आ रहे होंगे, किसी में 2 आ रहे होंगे, किसी में 1। तो जिसमें भी हमको ज्यादा सब क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं वो 5 मार्क करके रख दो। एंड इसमें भी अब आप में जिस जिस क्वेश्चन में सबसे ज्यादा सब क्वेश्चन आपको आते हैं, स्टार्ट उससे करो। तो वो ये अगर आपका स्टार्टिंग में जो है जल्दी हो जाएगा वो सॉल्व करना भी, क्योंकि आपको आता है, और आपका वो ज्यादा मार्क्स का भी अटेम्प्ट हो जाएगा, तो आपको अपने आप कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा एक अपने अंदर। एंड फिर जो आखिरी में है वो क्वेश्चन आप अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हो जो आपको नहीं जम रहा था।
And I guess that would be helpful for the students. One more question, commonly asked question was like, did you take face-to-face coaching or it was virtual? So I'll add on based on that.
Okay, so mine was entirely virtual.
Okay. Kunal and Varun?
मेरा फेस टू
Virtual.
फेस था।
Okay, so in that the question would be to Rajan and Kunal. How did you manage your coaching? Because most of the students say that if they're having regular college or need irrespective of that, the habit of procrastination, because it happens now certain situation aa gaya and we are not listening to the classes regularly basis where consistency is not there. So how did you achieve that? Because the coaching was virtual and you have to be self-disciplined enough to listen to the classes.
I guess your question has the answer in itself. The self-discipline is necessary for that. So it will come from your own self. Like I am not the right person. Like even if I say something today, you might not able to follow it every single day. So it happens many times you need breaks. Like it might happen that in a week you are not that productive. You have to bounce back by yourself, keeping a positive attitude. Self-discipline is important.
Exactly. Kunal, your take on it?
Actually, you need to understand that you are preparing for chartered accountancy exams, which is second most toughest exams in India, and you have no other option. You need to watch it, and if you don't watch it, the whole loss is yours only, not anyone else. So the biggest advantage of virtual classes is like you are your own boss. लाइक व्हेन आई वुड से, मतलब मेरे को आप लोग एलियन समझेंगे, बट मैं दोपहर के 2 से रात के 8 बजे तक सोता था। मतलब ये मेरी स्लीप साइकिल थी। ये मैंने, मतलब मैं खुद का बॉस था कि मैंने अपना एक वर्ल्ड बना लिया था कि जहाँ सवेरे भी जब मैं बोलूंगा तभी होंगी, रात भी तभी होंगी। सो ये एक फायदा रहता है अगर आप वर्चुअल क्लासेस ले रहे हो, तो जो आपको लगता है कि यार ये मेरा बेस्ट टाइम है, ये टाइम पे मैं बिल्कुल बोर नहीं होता हूँ, तो आप वो टाइम पे लेक्चर्स देख सकते हो। ये आपके पास एडवांटेज है वर्चुअल क्लासेस का। So you need to focus on what advantages you have, and rather than procrastination and all, like रात को अगर आप, मैं पढ़ता था, वैसे भी कोई ऑनलाइन दिखेगा नहीं, सो मेरे पास उसको काम भी नहीं रह सकता था। सो आप अपना बेस्ट टाइम दो लेक्चर्स को, बिकॉज लेक्चर्स बहुत जरूरी है। अगर आप कैसे करते हो, अगर आपने लेक्चर्स अच्छे से करे हैं तो फिर रिवीजन में बहुत हेल्प होने वाली है। सो दिस यू कैन डू।
Okay. So what were your resorts for doubts, if you had any, because you have taken a virtual coaching?
I guess the faculties provided either their mail ID or their WhatsApp number or Telegram number on which you can ask the doubts.
So were they resourceful enough?
I cannot comment exactly upon it because I did not ask many doubts as such. Like doubts which I asked to the faculties, the given WhatsApp number on, they used to reply back within 24 hours.
That's cool. So in order to clear your exams, you should enter into a metaverse like Kunal did, as he said, nicely said. Everything has a positive and negative, so we should always try to look at the positive side. And as he said, it is a principal merit that if you're taking virtual coaching, it's you are the own boss. So as Aman raised the hand, I'll hand over the mic to him.
Thank you so much. So I have few questions from the students. A student Pratik says that is it possible to clear CA Inter Group 1 in 2 months, and he only completed 30% of the syllabus as of now.
आई थिंक ये क्वेश्चन उसको अपने आप से ही पूछना चाहिए कि क्या वो कर पाएगा, यानी वो उतने एफर्ट्स दे पाएगा कि मेरा अभी 30% पोर्शन ही खत्म हुआ है, मेरे को भी 70% और करना बाकी है। अगर उसका खुद से आंसर यस आता है तो उसको डेफिनेटली करना चाहिए।
Okay. What Kunal and Rajan has to say on this?
I think Varun told the exact answer for it.
Okay, so I have next question that how did you manage class 12th with CA Foundation and what was your priority?
Okay, so for personally me, my priority was obviously CA Foundation at that point of time because COVID was raging everywhere. But at that point, there was uncertainties about 12th as well as for CA Foundation as well. Many were saying that as it happened in May 20, your July 21 attempt will also go to November 21. So it was like a mixed balance. But from 12th beginning only, I had started preparing for CA Foundation as well. So it was like a smooth walk. So I used to devote both time to both of them. But afterwards, when the 12th examinations were over, you had entire time for CA Foundation, and I had done it from 12th beginning itself. So it became easier.
Okay. What about Varun and Kunal?
When you are in the starting phase of your 12th standard, so you don't have pressure for board exams at that time. So at that time, you can give more focus towards your CA foundation. And as the board exams come near, then you can reverse that. You can then, like for 3 months before board exams, you can start giving more focus toward your 12th standard. So this strategy can help. And once your 12th exams are over, so now ICI has taken exams, and I think in every attempt the CA foundation will be in June only, not in May now. So you would get at least 1 month, and if you're getting 1 to 1 and 2 months, so that is sufficient for regaining what you have did in past. So this strategy can be adopted for that.
मेरा भी फोकस सीए फाउंडेशन पे ही था स्टार्टिंग से, तो 12th पे मैंने इतना फोकस किया नहीं था। अगर आप देखो तो अकाउंट्स और इकोनॉमिक्स जो 2 सब्जेक्ट 12th में है, वो आपके सीए फाउंडेशन में भी थे, तो आपके 2 सब्जेक्ट्स तो यहीं कवर हो जाते हैं। जो मेन दिक्कत जाती है वो सिर्फ लैंग्वेजेस वगैरह में जाती है। तो वैसे मैंने इतना कुछ फोकस नहीं किया था, मैं 12th का सेल्फ स्टडी कर रहा था, और होपफुली सब ये कैंसिल ही हो गए थे हमारे एग्जाम्स, तो ज़्यादा कुछ पढ़ना नहीं पड़ा था। सर आपका माइक नहीं।
Aman, you're on mute.
Okay. So we have next question is how should we write answers in exam? Does presentation matter?
I guess presentation in the sense, the structuring of the answer is important, not your handwriting. Of course, the handwriting should be legible. It should not be very much shabby. It should be legible handwriting. And the structure of the answer is important. Many times it is preferred that you do, the structuring should be same as the institute does the structuring. So it gets easy for the examiner to check your answers.
Varun and Kunal, any take on this?
मेरा भी प्रेजेंटेशन कुछ खास नहीं था, मेरी हैंडराइटिंग बहुत खराब थी, बस ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो रीडेबल होनी चाहिए। तो मेरे यानी एटलीस्ट प्रैक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट्स में तो दिक्कत नहीं जाती है।
Okay, so we have the next question is did you opt for any particular paid online test series? Like many of the students go for test series before the examination for their preparations. So what kind of test series you all used?
मेरी तो
I used an online.
मेरी ऑफलाइन थी, जहाँ मैंने कोचिंग लिया था वहीं थी।
I used an online test series for my preparation because for practice basically, because we had less time, so I could not give the number of test series which I wanted to give, but I give around one full syllabus test series.
I also had one online test series only, and if you have time, because in our attempt we don't have time, we only have 7 months, so we can't give the number of tests we desired. But ideal, I think, if you can give 2 full tests, then it would be like satisfaction. You will go with that confidence in exams, because now if you are having 2 months, so you can give 2 tests. We were not having time, so we adjusted with one only, but I would recommend at least 2 full course tests.
Okay. So I think this will be very helpful for the students. Next question, very common question that many of the students ask is whether to opt for single group or go for both groups together.
I guess it is the same question, like you said, 30% syllabus is completed and 2 months you can do. So I think that is a question you have to ask for yourself, like Varun said. It depends upon your own capabilities and competencies.
Varun and Kunal, any take on this question?
हाँ, वो भी है कि आपको अपने आप से पूछना चाहिए, एंड एक 2 ग्रुप देने का एडवांटेज होता है कि बहुत से बार सेट ऑफ मिल जाता है। जैसे अभी मैंने ये अटेम्प्ट में देखा कि ग्रुप 1 वाज यानी कुछ ज़्यादा ही अच्छा था, यानी 290 के आसपास मार्क्स थे एग्जाम को, एंड सेकंड ग्रुप में 192 मार्क्स थे। ये अगर इंडिविजुअली दिया होता तो ग्रुप 1 बहुत अच्छा गया था, ग्रुप 2 बहुत खराब गया था, बट वो सेट ऑफ की वजह से दोनों ग्रुप पास हो गए। तो मेरे ख्याल से एक बार अटेम्प्ट तो देना चाहिए, अगर हमारी पढ़ाई नहीं भी हुई तो हमको एक आइडिया तो भी आ जाएगा कि कैसे आने वाला है पेपर्स।
So we have the next question is how to approach for practical subjects while solving the questions. Means in the exam when you're solving a practical question, so how to look at the question from where to start?
I guess that approach will build up after practicing the questions. The more and more you practice the questions while doing revisions, then you will get an exact approach, like how exactly you have to do it. So after reading the questions, it depends upon the subject as well, what is the exact procedure to solve that question. So that will develop from practice.
During when you are seeing your lectures for that practical subject, so it is your duty to understand what is the process, what is the correct process, and usually I used to write down the process for solving a question, because in subjects like costing there is not a set pattern for solving every question. Accounts there is a pattern, but in costing there is no set pattern for solving a question. So yeah, as Rajan said, it depends how much you practice, and at the end, if you have practiced many questions, so you would automatically start. When you see a question, you would automatically start. Yeah, this is the starting point. So there is a key role of practice in that, and more questions from ICI only provides so much of sources, RTP, MTP, past exam. So you need to practice as many questions you can.
Okay, so one last question that we have is how to prepare for law and BCR and what to keep in mind before exams.
Rajan, please answer.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess for law, I guess BCR is from foundation. Okay. So law, particularly in intermediate level, everything is case study based questions. So it is not necessary that you learn the exact provisions of law. You should have an understanding of them and what exactly the provision tries to convey. So it is important you have a proper conceptual clarity of the question and you conceptual clarity of the provision, and you understand what the provision is saying as far as intermediate is concerned. But I guess in foundation, there are theory questions are also asked. So at that point of time, only understanding will not be necessary. You need to also learn some sort of provisions for it.
We have a question that how to prepare for accounting standards, like both in accounting and advanced accounting. Any one of you, like
You need to first be conceptually cleared about accounting standards, because the in case of accounting standards the questions are mostly conceptual based. They don't ask direct questions for accounting standards. They usually ask you case studies and all. So for accounting standards you need to be conceptually cleared, and what that standard says and what was the purpose of that standard. You need to be clear about that so that you can answer in a better way.
Rajan and Varun, would you like to add something?
I think Kunal did the exact explanation of it.
Yeah.
आई थिंक कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी तो चाहिए एएस में, बट उसके साथ साथ मॉड्यूल में जितने भी इलस्ट्रेशन या क्वेश्चंस है वो सब के गो थ्रू करना चाहिए, क्योंकि मोस्ट बहुत से बार उनमें से ही क्वेश्चंस आते हैं। बहुत से बार हमको शायद एएस में अच्छे से नहीं समझाओ, बट एक इलस्ट्रेशन या क्वेश्चन के थ्रू हमको कंसेप्ट इजीली समझ जाता है। तो जितने भी क्वेश्चंस और इलस्ट्रेशन है वो सब उनके गो थ्रू करना चाहिए।
Okay, so I think we have almost covered all the questions, and most of the questions are repeating. I request students that if they have any question, you can mail us. We will definitely solve your query through Rankers, and of course, they will be needing to solve your queries. So, like, I have one last question for you all. What advice, tips, or a last remark would you like to give to the students who are appearing for the upcoming attempt? And also, adding to this, what are your plans for the articleship?
Okay, so first of all, tips for the students, I would like to say, as Varun mentioned, that don't aim for 400. Try to aim a little bit bigger so that even if you not achieve that target, you will end up somewhere about 400. So you will be able to pass. That is important. Then consistency is necessary as always, because this is the crucial time for you. Instead of wasting time on some other things, it is very important for you to take out proper productive hours for study at this particular point of time, and be calm and chilled out.
About your articleship thing also she asked. So
Yeah, okay. For articleship, like basically I am looking for taxation domain. I will soon be joining the firm. I think it will be better if I disclose it on LinkedIn only.
yeah, that's cool. So Kunal, now your take, concluding your remark.
मतलब हमारे अटेम्प्ट का रिजल्ट आया है तो तब से मतलब एक नेगेटिविटी हर स्टूडेंट के मन में है कि यार 5% रिजल्ट आ रहा है सी इंटरमीडिएट का, जबकि फाइनल का 12% है। सो मेरे फ्रेंड्स हो या सब में एक मतलब वो नेगेटिविटी आ गई है कि ये क्या हो रहा है। सो मैं बस ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि ये हमारे मतलब दिस इज नॉट इन आवर कंट्रोल। व्हाट इज इन आवर कंट्रोल इज studying and giving our best in the exams. So you should focus on that only. Rest leave it to ICI. It is ICI's duty what is the pass percentage, and it is not our duty to think that ICI should give this much pass percentage. So you need to focus on what you can do, and this is last 2 months. So जितनी मेहनत हो सकती है कर लो, because मैंने एग्जाम्स के बाद अपनी लाइफ बहुत इंजॉय करी है कि जितना मैंने ये 7 मंथ्स अपने आप को सब सेक्रीफाइसेस करे, बट जब से मतलब मैं एग्जाम्स के बाद से इंजॉय कर रहा हूँ। सो ये इंजॉयमेंट आपको भी मिलेगा, इसलिए एग्जाम्स में पूरी अपनी जितनी एनर्जी आप लगा सकते हैं ये 2 मंथ्स में लगा दीजिए, देन रेस्ट द लाइफ इज योर्स। सो यही रहेगा कि दिस टाइम में you should focus on what positive things you can see rather than on negative things. So ये टाइम पे अपने आप को मोटिवेट रखना है, अपनी फैमिली के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करना है। लोग यूट्यूब से मोटिवेशनल लेक्चर्स देखते हैं, बट वो वैसा ही है जो रात का नशा है सवेरे उतर जाता है। तो वो लेक्चर्स के बजाय अपने फैमिली के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करो, एंड यू मतलब ऐसे दोस्तों के साथ टाइम स्पेंड जो आपको मोटिवेटेड रखे, जो आपको हंसाते रहे। सो ये पॉजिटिव अप्रोच के साथ अगर एग्जाम्स में जाएंगे तो पास परसेंटेज कुछ भी हो वो 5% में मैं आऊंगा ही, ये कॉन्फिडेंस आप में आ जाएगा. सो ये एटीट्यूड रखिए. And about my articleship, I will be joining in statutory audit domain in one of the big fours.
Varun?
तो मैंने एक कोड बनाया था जो मैंने भी फॉलो किया था, एंड आई थिंक ये सबको फॉलो करना चाहिए. तो डेयर टू ड्रीम द इम्पॉसिबल, वर्क फॉर इट विथ फुल डेडिकेशन बिकॉज ड्रीम्स डू कम ट्रू. तो मैंने तो अपने पूरे इसमें यही फॉलो किया कि मैंने एक एम रखा था बड़ा, एंड उसके लिए मैंने पूरे से एफर्ट्स लिए, एंड आज वो एआई हूँ मैं, बस वही. एंड आर्टिकलशिप का मेरा ऐसा है, मैं स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट में ईवाई ज्वाइन करने वाला.
Like the message you gave to all us is really precious, and definitely it's gonna help numerous students to clear the upcoming attempt. So thank you for giving your precious time, and also I thank all the students and branches. Like also at the end of this session, we are going to end this session very soon. So I want to add something that जब हौसला बना लिया है उड़ान का, जब हौसला बना लिया है उड़ान का, फिर देखना फिजूल है कद आसमान का. So as Kunal said, जब आप CA एग्जाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, then you have to prepare for the worst because you don't know what is going to ask in the question examination. So thank you. Now I would like to hand over the dice to Aman Shrivastava from Jodhpur to close the session and give his vote of thanks. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Harpreet. So what an amazing session it was, so insightful. And thank you to all the eminent speakers, Rajan, Kunal, and Varun, for enlightening us and sharing your success stories with all of us and guiding us in the imperative areas. So as it has been rightly said that the key to success is to focus on goals and not on the obstacles. And we do believe that the stories you all articulated will definitely assist many students to clearly focus on their goals and vision. So like you said that contacts that you have saved with your section numbers, with essays, so these are very insightful things for revision becoming easier, marking the tricky questions. So these are small things I think add up to your success. So thank you so much for giving us these insights. And also I would like to take this opportunity to thank WICASA Navi Mumbai, WICASA Goa, WICASA Vadodara, WICASA Nashik, WICASA Jodhpur, WICASA Nagpur, WICASA Pune, WICASA Amravati, and WICASA Akola for joining us in this webinar, and to all the students who have been an active listeners in this webinar. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. Over to you, Harpreet.
Thank you, Aman. So I hope that session is going to help many students. And as I previously mentioned, that if any students have any queries that are left, you can mail us. We will definitely solve them through rankers. So here, I think we should conclude this session as we have already reached the time limit. So thank you once again to all the rankers for giving your precious time and helping, motivating to all the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you for giving this opportunity.